esto agrandado, me tiene encantado. Todo esto agrandado, me tiene encantado. No estamos jugando, maten al infiltrado. No estamos jugando, maten al infiltrado. Ya pa, la gente no sabe ni qué inventar.
Yo, what's up, fam? So as y'all can see, I got a new mic. Bought it for $30. Got a good deal on it, man, and it sounds great. But anyways, I want to see. Did you guys watch that Trevor Noah Daily Show speech or commentary regarding Bloomberg's stop and frisk policies and how it affects black kids and creates a system of consequences and ramifications that continue for generations to generations? I mean, I'm gonna let y'all watch it, man, and then I'll talk about it afterwards.
You know, the biggest issue I think I have and many other people have with Mike Bloomberg and how he's defending his stop and frisk record is that he doesn't seem to know what he's defending. And that for me is a problem. You know, he goes, oh, I apologize for the policy. And people are not as angry about the policy, I think, as how the policy was targeted. Because for so many years, especially in America, black people have said, hey, the police are targeting us just because we're black. They treat us like we're all criminals. They're not just trying to go for criminals. And what would people say to people? Oh, you're overreacting. Cops are not just going to throw you against the wall. You must have done something. And I can imagine for a long time, for many black Americans, it must have felt like being gaslit. You know what's happening to you. You say what's happening to you, and people are like, that's crazy. And I can imagine how for many white people in America, they're like, that is crazy. You just got thrown against the wall? Why? You must have been doing something. Because white people are like, I've never been thrown against the wall. That would never happen to me. What? You just got thrown against the wall? That's it? I see cops all the time. I say, hello, officer. They say, hello, sir. And then I keep walking. You just get thrown against the wall? That doesn't make any sense. And I can imagine, and then a lot of black people were like, you white people are being racist because you don't. And white people are like, that is insane. Cops will not just throw. And I can see how people have lived in these worlds for so long. And then now you have audio of Mike Bloomberg saying, and that audio for me, if you break it down into pieces, has so many issues with it. First of all, the fact that he says, if you look at criminals and victims of crime, etc., you can Xerox. You can just copy and paste it and put it out there. It shows me that you didn't even care about the differences between black people. You made it seem like black is crime when in fact black is most affected by crime. That is the thing that you did there, right? That's the first problem I have. Secondly, the fact that people don't seem to realize the ramifications of treating people like that. Imagine if you are a black kid living in Mike Bloomberg's New York City. Every day, you're getting frisked and thrown against a wall, put over the hood of a car every day. This is what cops are this is your life. Now imagine if you are a black kid who lives in this world. A cop gets you, throws you into a wall. You got something, you carry, next day it happens again, maybe next week, maybe next month, whenever it is. At some point, what do you say? Fuck the police, yeah? And then you get people like, why don't you respect the police? Why don't they respect me? They don't protect and serve me. These people come and throw me against the wall and treat me like a criminal. You know what I mean? And then what does that kid do one day? They see the cops, they go, screw this, I'm not staying around for this. They run away. The cops pursue. Now they catch you. What are you? You're evading arrest. You're resisting arrest. Now you get arrested for resisting arrest. Then you go to jail. You can't afford bail. Now you're in prison. What does prison turn you into more likely than not? A criminal. Right? And even if you don't become a criminal because of that, you are still in the system now. We've seen how these kids get locked up. They can't afford to come out. Now they are living a life of crime without being a criminal. And then you're just like, oh, but these kids spend all their time in jail. How did they get to jail? Why were you running from the cops? Because I was tired of being thrown against the motherfucking wall. I'm not going to stick around for that. I remember that in high school. I didn't wait. The bully came and I was like, oh, shit. And I was gone. I wasn't going to stand there and be like, yeah, well, good afternoon, bully. Nice to see you again. Different thing today, yes? Are we going to talk this out? No, at some point you knew the bully was going to do what he's going to do, so you ran before they even got to you. And then people are like, why are these kids running away? They don't respect the police. But do the police respect them? And that is something no one can deny. If you've ever been in a rich neighborhood specifically, not just a white neighborhood, but a rich neighborhood, you will see the relationship that police have with those communities. It's very different because they know if they throw the wrong person, search the wrong person, frisk the wrong person, that person knows someone powerful enough to make sure that their job is in danger. And those are the dynamics that you're dealing with here. And so my problem with Mike Bloomberg is he's not saying, I'm sorry for targeting black people. I'm sorry for treating black people like second-class citizens. I'm sorry for gaslighting black people for so long. No, he's just like, I'm sorry that stop and frisk happened to affect black communities. And it's like, no, it didn't happen to. You designed it to.
Bruh, he told Mike Bloomberg a new asshole, bro. Damn, bruh. Everything he said was spot on. And I think it helps that he grew up in, like, apartheid South Africa. I don't know if you guys read his book, Born to Crime. I read it in my my English class when I was pals. Shout out Rome Romagnoli for having us read that book, man. Really eye-opening and very educational. But, I mean, he's right. He's absolutely right. There's two different worlds, man. There's a world where you must have been doing something wrong. And there's another world where you can literally get slammed on a car because you look like a criminal. I mean, come on, bruh. Come on. Stop and frisk. Really? And then, I mean, if you guys watch my other YouTube video, you know what Bloomberg said about the Xerox picture that my good friend Trevor Noah just talked about. This dude, Mike Bloomberg, literally said you can Xerox a picture of a criminal and hand it out to the police. And essentially what he said is that all the criminals look like black people. There's no differences. So essentially what he's saying is being black is a crime. I mean, that's what he's saying. Go watch my video. Politic and Talk on YouTube. You can watch it there. Or go YouTube it. Put Mike Bloomberg defends stop and frisk. And you'll know what I'm talking about. And, you know, Trevor Noah did a good job at talking about the rotation and the consequences and the ramifications of treating people like that. Kids grow up seeing their fathers slammed on the hoods of cop cars, or they're getting slammed to the ground by the cops. They're going to grow up saying, you know what? Fuck the police, bro. And then it's just going to continue the cycle. And then people who don't understand, who've never been treated like that by cops, they're going to be like, well, why don't you respect law enforcement? Oh. And it's just a cycle, bro. You know what I mean? And it's just like anything. Like, you know, you got weeds in the backyard. You got to pull it from the root. You can't just pull the weed from the top and expect it's going to go away. Hell no, bro. You know, if you don't get it from the root, it's going to always grow back over and over and over. And that's just how it is. I remember when I was, 16, 15, there was a robbery. And I was working at McDonald's. Yeah, I used to work at McDonald's, bro. Here it comes. Talk all the shit y'all want. But I was like one of my first jobs, and I was with a friend of mine. He came and picked us up. And there was a robbery, I guess, not too far from the McDonald's where we worked. And there was a car full of Latino, Hispanic kids. And we passed where there's like a police block off. And we passed it, and the cops, I looked at the cop, man, and I could tell. Like, they just looked at us, and they're like, let's get these motherfuckers. You could just see in their eyes. And so all of a sudden, like 3 or 4 cop cars chased us. I mean, not chased us, but they followed us and they put the lights on. My friend was driving. He pulled over, And then all of a sudden, they all came out of the cars with their guns out. And they were like, everybody put your hands in the fucking air. Driver, get out. Passenger, get out. And I was in the back, so then I was one of the last ones to get out. We get out, and this cop shoves his gun in the back of my head. And he calls me a fucking beaner. I mean, this is reality for us, bruh. This ain't a joke. And ever since then, I've been fuck the police. You know what I mean? And I know there's good cops out there. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good cops. I met some good cops. And it's nothing personal against the good cops. It's against the system. It's against these fucking politicians like Bloomberg who continue these systems. So that's all I got to say, man. And you know, it doesn't matter if you're a progressive or you're a moderate, whatever the fuck you consider yourself, man. You know, the Republicans already sold themselves out. They rather pick Trump, a racist, xenophobe, sexist, homophobic, fucktard, right? Over their own values. And a lot of it is out of contrarianism. They want to be contrarian because, I don't know, maybe they got like a type A personality and they can't be wrong. And they don't want to be wrong, even though they are. And I'm not gonna let that happen on the left. We're not gonna choose a candidate because we're gonna be fair-mongered into believing that he's the electable candidate. That's some bullshit. That's another topic I'm gonna go into in another video. But if you like this, man, like, subscribe. My YouTube channel is Politic and Talk. My Twitter is Politic and L. So yeah, man. And Yerraputu.
Estoy so agrandado, me tiene encantado. Estoy so agrandado, me tiene encantado. No estamos jugando, maten al infiltrado. No estamos jugando, maten al infiltrado. Ya pa, la gente no sabe ni qué inventar. Ya pa.